Welcome to the gallery at Kirkland Arts Center, where art connects us. Our current exhibition is Inherit the Whirlwind, featuring the work of the husband and wife team of Tom and Malayka Gormally. On exhibition through June 25th, Inherit the Whirlwind deftly explores topics related to our current political landscape through two distinct yet related lenses. While Tom makes brash, overt, and humorous statements through his large-scale sculptural pieces, Malayka's paintings of immigrants and individuals attaining U.S. citizenship anchors the exhibition with a quiet yet profound dignity. The result is an insightful, sometimes volatile exploration of political themes that invite discussion on topics that might ordinarily make us uncomfortable. About the artists. Malayka was first drawn to the topic of immigration during the 2017 protests surrounding the Muslim travel ban, when she observed a young woman holding a sign stating, "We are all immigrants." She could relate the plight of Muslim individuals trying to attain U.S. citizenship to her own family's harrowing immigration story during World War II. Her resulting work has been displayed in public spaces throughout the world, including the Civic Museum in Perugia, Italy, the Croatian Embassy, and SeaTac Airport. Her most recent public work, featuring her paintings of immigrants, is on permanent display at the Redmond Light Rail Station. Tom studied in the Midwest, receiving his BFA from the Minneapolis College of Art and Design and his MFA from Wichita State University. For over 40 years, he has used his love of woodwork and found objects to create pointed, witty statements on the political climate that invites dialogue between people with differing points of views. This work has been displayed around the United States and the world, including Italy and Ireland. Many of the pieces currently on display at Kirkland Arts Center are being shown to the public for the first time. At its core, Inherit the Whirlwind is a visual protest, and the work embodies the issues and values the artists hold dear. Tom's work addresses the topics of climate change and the effects of the spread of misinformation, while Malayka explores the challenges of being Muslim and gaining U.S. citizenship. While you need to examine the pieces individually to find the nuance and messaging, at first glance you can feel the chaos, motion, and uncertainty in the dynamic height and width changes to Tom's sculptures. At the same time, Malayka's work is hung in a quiet, orderly fashion, which anchors the exhibition and gives you a focal point at which to begin your tour. Mother and Children at Ellis Island, early 1900s. Malayka welcomes us to this exhibition with Mother and Children at Ellis Island, early 1900s. Recreated from historical photographs, the painting depicts a mother and her three children of various ages as they enter the United States through Ellis Island, once the entry point for all immigrants to our country. You are perhaps first drawn to the mother as the compositional focal point through her brightly colored clothing, but upon further examination, you can see that her expression is one of trepidation and hopefulness rather than the joy you might suspect. The children mimic this expression, intimating the difficulties that lie ahead for the family as they navigate the uncertainties of a new world, balanced by the dream of a happy new life not too far off in the future. This work was selected by U.S. Ambassador Natalie Reyes for an exhibition on immigration stories displayed at the U.S. Embassy in Zagreb, Croatia. Descending Storm, Communication Breakdown with Stellar's J. Surge. From this introduction, our tour steps away from the quiet dignity of Ellis Island immigrants and directly into the storm that serves as the heart of the exhibition. Descending Storm, Communication Breakdown with Stellar's J, and Surge all feature dynamic cyclones fashioned from fig branches gathered in Tom's yard. Traditionally a symbol of peace and prosperity, he has violently manipulated these branches and turned them on their heads, now symbolizing chaos and the swirl of junk information that circulates in our heads in this age of artificial intelligence and misinformation spread through social media. Descending Storm contains the most overt message of the trio. A cyclone whirls atop a tilted rendering of the White House, supported by a base that ends with a swastika. This provocative staging leaves little to the imagination as to Tom's thoughts on the news and happenings currently occurring in our nation's highest offices. Surge continues to drag us along this frenzied storm, with its lurid red light emanating from a house divided. This is representative of what is happening in so many of our households, as political differences become increasingly divisive to family units. Communication Breakdown with Stellar's J takes a more lighthearted and philosophical approach, utilizing chairs placed close together to represent a dialogue between two individuals that may have different ideologies. The cyclone remains swirling above them, but the cool blue light is less intense and serves to calm the piece more than its counterparts. Tom also uses some humor to diffuse the tension, with the Stellar's J perched on the back of one of the chairs, indicating a certain social media platform is always with us. Images of immigrants in their communities. From here, we are treated to a moment of refuge as we examine Malayka's paintings of immigrants to the Seattle area. Drawn in by the stories of the women she met at the travel ban march in 2017, Malayka's journey brought her to community centers in the Ethiopian and Indian communities. The works displayed here are inspired by her photographs taken at these venues and displays more expressions of joy and contentedness as these individuals meet in their new home and establish new, solid communities for fellowship and support. Shredding the Truth. Tom uses a cartoonish fox to represent misinformation disseminated to the masses in many of his works. This is no better expressed than in his piece, Shredding the Truth. Perhaps the most literal of his sculptures in the exhibition, the piece depicts the fox stretching, inverting, then shredding the word truth while resting on another evocative base. The effectiveness of this tableau is enhanced by the shadow it casts on the wall behind it. Bridge. The idea for Bridge manifested during an exhibition at the Blandon Memorial Museum in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Tom had a life-size representation of his fox displayed on the front lawn near the Des Moines River. While in residence, he had a vision of another large-scale fox standing in the center of the river. He took this idea back to his studio and recreated it. Here, the fox is altering the flow of the information river with its presence, but the bridge behind it indicates a way across, a path to move forward. Environmental works. Tom also addresses the topics of global warming and climate change in several of the pieces in the show, plainly evident in the compositions and titles of The Story of a Ghost Owl, A Songbird and a Vulture, and Clear Cut with Owl. Perhaps the strongest environmental message comes from Saint Oil Baron. Inspired by altarpieces he saw during his residency in Civita, Italy, Tom decided to create one of his own that reflects the current world zeitgeist. Here, the misinformed fox stands confidently at the altar of fossil fuels, waiting to be worshipped. Once again, subtlety is abandoned to make a clear, deadly, serious point, but the message is delivered with Tom's dry humor, eliminating preachiness and making it more palatable to the viewer. Applying for U.S. citizenship. As our tour moves upstairs, the attention again focuses on Malayka's work, starting with these images of individuals in the process of applying for U.S. citizenship. Smiles play on most of their lips as they complete the paperwork to begin a new dream, leaving friends and family behind to create a new mark on the world and join a new community. Again, recreated from her own photographs, Malayka reminds us there is still hope and fellowship in the universe. Redmond Light Rail Station. This message of fellowship and community is embodied in a permanent public installation of Malayka's work at the light rail station in Redmond. Opened in May of 2025, her message resonated strongly with the city, resulting in 5 large panels depicting various immigrants from the Ethiopian and Indian communities. The panels are 6 feet by 12 feet and created in porcelain on steel. Mounted on 15-foot pillars, this public work loudly proclaims a long-term, inclusive welcome to immigrants moving to the Redmond community that will exist and be seen by thousands daily in the public space for years and decades to come. Here Lies Lies. Tom's misinformed fox makes one final appearance in our exhibition in Here Lies Lies. The fox is particularly aggressive in this composition, confidently howling while perched on a now familiar red baseball cap. Beneath him is a mock funeral for lies, while his brash voice creates a new batch above. Tom anchors this piece with a Confederate flag lit up in red lighting, once again using provocative imagery to put an emphatic exclamation point on his message and philosophy. Monument or memorial. Tom's final piece in the exhibit is a little quieter than its counterpoints, but no less poignant and effective. Using a definitely intentional whitewash-style motif, he gives us a stark reminder of the atrocities that resulted from a past bout our world faced against mass communication. It serves as an emphatic conclusion to Tom's message in the show and leaves you with a call to action. In these times of political strife, let's stop the rampant flow of misinformation fostered by siloed individuals on social media platforms and come together to communicate amicably, effectively, and perhaps most important, truthfully. Five women on a bench, members of the Ethiopian community. Our exhibition closes with a triumphant testament to the power of community and communication. Malayka's final 2 paintings in our show depict women from the past and present getting together to form social groups in their new surroundings. It indicates that the struggle to find identity and a place in an unfamiliar environment may be difficult, but it is an entirely surmountable task. Despite the impression that civil discourse has broken down for good, perhaps there is hope for humanity even yet. Thank you for taking the virtual tour of this exhibition. Inherit the Whirlwind will exhibit at Kirkland Arts Center from May 16th to June 25th, 2025. Additionally, Malayka and Tom will be holding an artist talk at Kirkland Arts Center on Sunday, June 15th from 1 to 2 p.m. Kirkland Arts Center is located at 620 Market Street, just up the hill from the downtown Kirkland shopping core. This tour was written and directed by Jeremy Hurd McKinney, Gallery Director at Kirkland Arts Center, and narrated by Craig Hurd McKinney, Grants and Marketing Coordinator.